welcome to another live stream here over my YouTube and Kick pages, Sports Bonanza John on YouTube and Sports Kick John on Kick. Ready for some college basketball tonight. Cal State Northridge and Stanford. College basketball starting to get back a little bit underway following the Christmas break. Gets into a little bit of a more full schedule tomorrow. We'll preview this game in a moment. First of all, let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, Lord. And please look over everyone involved tonight. Please protect all the players and fans alike. And please put your will among us, Lord. And put your will among us. And just look over us all as we ask and pray this, Lord, in your name. Amen. Cal State Northridge and Stanford here, college basketball. First of all, hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful holiday. As we get back into it here, Cal State Northridge and Stanford. Cal State Northridge coming in winners of 4 in a row after a 4-5 start. This is the final non-conference game for Cal State Northridge as they will start Big West play in full starting on New Year's Day. They've already played 2 Big West Conference games, a win over Cal State Bakersfield and a loss at UC Irvine. So Cal State Northridge 8-5 on the year, as mentioned, winners of 4 in a row. Stanford coming in winners of 3 in a row. They are coming in at 10-2 on the season. This is their last non-conference game. They will start ACC play coming up on Tuesday against Notre Dame. As Cal State Northridge 8-5 on the season, as mentioned, Stanford coming in at 10-2. Cal State Northridge led by Larry Hughes II, averaging about 18.5 points a game. Joshua Ogero and Josiah Davis also averaging in double figures for this Cal State Northridge squad. Meanwhile, for Stanford, Stanford comes in with Ebuka Okori averaging over 22 points a game. Chisholm Okpara averaging 15 a game. Benny Gieler averaging just over 11. And AJ Rohosi right at the 10-point a game mark. So Stanford puts 4 players in double figures. Stanford team that averages 81 points a game on the season. Cal State Northridge comes in just shy of 81 points a game. So both these teams score very similar in the 80s. So we will see here, and mentioned the final non-conference game for both these teams. Just 3 games on the college basketball schedule today. Again, still out on Christmas break. There's a lot more games as college basketball gets back into full swing starting tomorrow. The only other 2 games today involve non-D1 competition. Got a couple ranked teams in action tomorrow. Number 15, Texas Tech, is in action against Winthrop, and number 7, Gonzaga, opens West Coast Conference play tomorrow in Malibu against Pepperdine. So those are 2 ranked teams in action tomorrow as college basketball bouncing back from the Christmas break. And we've got Cal State Northridge and Stanford tonight. Southern California against Northern California. Just about set to go from Maples Pavilion. Stanford coming into this game a 15.5-point favorite tonight over the Matadors of Cal State Northridge. Both these teams trying to extend their winning streaks. Cal State Northridge winners of 4 in a row. Stanford winners of 3 in a row. As we are just about set to go in this one. Cal State Northridge comes out with the starting 5 of Devarius Lowry, Mahood Fofana, Josiah Davis, Larry Hughes II, and Joshua Ogero. Stanford coming out with Rahosi, Chisholm Okpara, Ebuka Okori, Benny Gieler, and Ryan Agarwal. And we have a foul underneath to begin the game as the tip was won by Cal State Northridge. And right away, we have a Stanford foul called on Benny Gieler. So to the line right away goes Mahmoud Fofana for Cal State Northridge with 2 free throws. First is no good, and that's how this game begins. Fofana hits 1 of 2 at the line. Fofana only about a 60% free throw shooter on the season. And a 1-0 lead for Cal State Northridge. Stanford with the ball for the first time underneath a triple team and losing the basketball, but getting it out there nicely, able to save possession, and now Stanford will reset. Drive inside, back outside on the wing. Now over to the left side here. A three-point shot on the way. Rattles in from Chisholm Okpara. And Stanford gets their first field goal attempt to go, and it's 3-1 Cardinal. Minute in from Maples on a Saturday evening. Actually, still late Saturday afternoon out in California. Jumper at the other end, no good. But then Stanford lost the ball on the rebound as Cal State Northridge took it away, and another missed three-pointer, and this time Stanford able to pull down the rebound. And another three-pointer for Stanford. That's no good from Benny Geeler. And the rebound pulled down by the Matadors. The drive inside, outside, in the corner for 3. That's going to go for Cal State Northridge's first 3 points of the three-pointer of the game. That's Josiah Davis from the right corner. It's 4-3 Matadors. Stanford back the other way. This is Geeler on the outside. Geeler looking for help, gets it underneath, and now Okpara with it. Okpara, that's going to be an offensive foul as Okpara pushed off with his arm. That'll be his first. May not have been a lot of contact there, but usually any time you see someone push off like that, it's almost always a charge every time. So Okpara gets his first foul, team foul number 2 on Stanford. And back come the Matadors up the floor. 2 minutes in this one. Nice look inside and the finish. A great pass inside. And Fofana gets the layup to go. Great feed from Josiah Davis. It's 6-3 Cal State Northridge. A deep 3 at the top of the key at the other end is no good for Stanford. And back the other way come the Matadors on the rebound. Inside, and the layup is not good, but it's going to be a foul on Stanford. And that will send Fofana to the line. Foul is on Rahosi. That's his first. Already the third foul on Stanford here in the first half. And right back to the line goes Mahmoud Fofana, who just went 1 for 2 last time down. First free throw up and off the rim, no good. Mentioned Fofana, just about a 60% free throw shooter on the season. It's just 1 for his first 3 in this one. And Fofana misses 2. Agarwal pulls down the rebound for Stanford. Cardinal down 3, bringing the ball up the floor. Outside here is Geeler. Bounce pass to Okpara from the foul line. Now driving inside, getting in the paint, and gets fouled as he put it up off the backboard. And that will send Chisholm Okpara to the line for 2. Foul on Cal State Northridge on Josiah Davis. That's his first. Okpara heading to the line. First one up and good. One more coming. Missed the second. So both teams struggling from the line here early in this one. 6-4 lead for Cal State Northridge. Now, bear with me when I'm looking at Cal State Northridge, looking at the screen. I'm a little far from the screen, and the black jerseys, it's kind of hard for me to tell the numbers. There's a 3 for Larry Hughes II. He's got 2 3-pointers. He's got 6 in the game, and it's 9-4 Matadors. Okpara on the outside, now trying to drive inside, looking for help. Goes underneath, drawing a double team and missing the shot. Good defense underneath for the Matadors, and back the other way, they come on the rebound. There's a bad pass there, taken away by Stanford. First turnover of the game for Northridge. Okori with it, and now we'll slow it down as he crosses midcourt. Cardinal working it around the outside. Now gets it to Adam Kamen, who just checked in at the previous stoppage. Okori on the drive. Okori tries to get it into the corner. Shot clock down to 5. Stanford going to have to put up a shot here. They'll try a 3. It's short. Rebound to Cal State Northridge. Leading 9-4, 4 minutes in this game. And the Matadors turn it over as they throw it into the Stanford bench. And that brings us to our first timeout, just over 4 minutes in. Good start for the Cal State Northridge Matadors out of the Big West Conference, leading Stanford 9-4 in the early going at the first timeout. Stanford just 1 for their first 5 from the floor. 4 of Stanford's first 5 field goal attempts have been from three-point range. And Larry Hughes II, the leading scorer on the season for the Matadors with 6 early points, averaging just about 18.5 a game. Stanford, of course, as said at the outset, led by Ibuka Okori, just over 22 a game. Missed his only shot attempt so far. As it is 9-4 here in the early going in favor of Cal State Northridge. Taking a look at some of the college basketball scores for tomorrow. We mentioned those top 25 games. Number 15, Texas Tech hosting Winthrop. And number 7, Gonzaga opening Big West Conference play tomorrow against Pepperdine. ACC teams tomorrow, Boston College hosting Lemoyne, Georgia Tech hosting Florida A&M, and SMU hosting Cal State Fullerton. That's another Big West ACC matchup. Teams wrapping up the non-conference slate before conference play gets underway in full. Couple Big West teams in action tomorrow against non-D1 competition. UC Davis and UC San Diego in action tomorrow from the Big West. As we are just about set to turn the calendar to 2026 and get into full conference play from here on out. Pretty much here on out. There's a couple of those conference battle games later on in the year, but outside of that, pretty much all conference play here on out just after we turn the calendar to January 1st, which is coming up on Thursday. As just about set to resume here from the under 16 timeout, quick 9-4 lead for Cal State Northridge on the road at Stanford. Cal State Northridge led by head coach Andy Newman in his 3rd year with the Matadors. The other side for Stanford, they are led by their 2nd-year head coach Kyle Smith. Out of the timeout, it's Stanford ball. Here's Okpara driving inside with the right hand. Can't get it to go, but he gets fouled. And Okpara will head to the line for 2. That foul is going to be on Jordan Brinson, who just checked in at the timeout for the Matadors. It's 2 free throws here for Okpara. First is good. 1 more coming. Second free throw also good. Okpara has all 6 points for Stanford here as they are now down 3, 9-6. Matadors bring it up the floor. Open 3 in the corner. Off the back rim, no. Rebound pulled down by the Cardinal. Okori with the rebound. Nice behind the back dribble and the spin move inside and gets it to go. Ibuka Okori with his first 2 points. And there's a quick 4-0 run for Stanford. Then Stanford steals the inbound pass. Okori on the drive and is fouled underneath as Okori went up for the layup. So Stanford, 4 quick points and then a steal of the inbound, and Okori heads to the free throw line to try and put Stanford ahead. First free throw by Okori is good. Benny Geeler is going to get a little bit of a breather here as Okori hits 2 free throws. 6-0 run for Stanford, and they've taken the lead here at 10-9. Nearly 5 minutes in this game. Pass inside here for the Matadors. And now back outside, they'll work it around. Nice pass inside. And the finish underneath. And the Matadors back in front, 11-10. Again, my apologies. I don't get the wrong players. I'm having to, with those dark uniforms, it's a little bit difficult seeing the numbers on Cal State Northridge. Nice pass inside there, and we have a foul. Oscar Gilte couldn't get that hook shot to go, but he'll have a chance to earn 2 points at the line. Foul is called on Grady Lewis. And to the line for the Cardinal goes Gilte. First free throw, no good. Mahmoud Fofana checks back in for the Matadors after a quick breather. Second free throw is good. 1 out of 2 ties this game at 11 apiece. Matadors bring it up the floor. And the drive inside sends it back outside, and the drive. That's a tough shot inside against a double team. That is not a good look for Northridge, that trip down. And at the other end, the layup is good for Ibuka Okori. And Stanford leads 13-11. And at the other end, we have a Cardinal foul. So both teams whistled for 4 fouls here in the first half. That's number 2 on Chisholm Okpara. So he's going to have to go to the bench here. Matadors inbound. Working it around the outside. And now a drive inside and a hard foul underneath. That's going to be on Jalen Thompson, who just checked in for Stanford. He got up in the air as a defender, and then when he came down right on the Cal State Northridge player underneath the basket. And that player was Joshua Ogero, who heads to the line and hits the first. One more coming for Ogero. And it is good. Matadors tie it at 13. Up the floor comes the Cardinal. With it on the outside here is Thompson. Jeremy Dent-Smith with it. Long three-pointer on the way, no good, but the Cardinal keep it alive as Geeler grabs the offensive board on the tip-out. And now a deep 3, that's no good. That tip won't go. And finally, the Matadors come down with the defensive board. On the drive inside against a double team, finds an open man underneath, but now he gets double teamed and kicking it outside for a 3. It's an air ball. But we have a foul on Stanford on Jeremy Dent-Smith. Was that on the 3-point shot? It was indeed. Jeremy Dent-Smith fouled Davius Lowry on the 3-point shot. So Lowry heads to the line for 3 free throws. First is good. Cal State Northridge back in front. Second free throw, round and out, no good. One more coming for Lowry. Hits 2 of the 3. And the Matadors lead by 2, 15-13. Cardinal bringing up the floor. This is Dent Smith on the outside. Cardinal working it around the arc. Now trying to drive inside was Kamen, but got cut off. And they'll now send it back outside to Jeremy Dent Smith. Dent Smith with a bounce pass. It's a dangerous bounce pass. And a traveling violation against Stanford will give the ball back to Cal State Northridge. Both teams have now turned it over 3 times. Matadors bringing up the floor with a 2-point lead. 12:40 remaining first half. Hughes gives it off. And now a wide open 3 on the right side is too strong. Cal State Northridge with the offensive rebound, and then Stanford knocks it out of bounds. It will stay with the Matadors. 18 on the shot clock. A.J. Rahosi returns for the Cardinal. Matadors get it in, and a quick basket off the inbound for O'Garo. He's got 4, and that is the Cal State Northridge lead is 4, 17-13. Cardinal with it, again lined up on the outside. Now driving inside is Thompson. Thompson sends it back outside, and now Thompson gets free for a 3. That bricked off the back rim. Rebound to Cal State Northridge. Stanford now just 1 of 7 from 3-point range. And that's going to be an offensive foul. That was a push-off with the arm. That's all against Josiah Davis. That's his second. He did push off with that off arm. 11:55 to play in the first half. 17-13. Cal State Northridge leading on the road at Stanford. Looking at some early stats in this game. Cal State Northridge 5 of 10 from the floor. 50%. They are 2 for 4 from 3-point range at 50%. Stanford just 3 of 10 from the floor early on at 30%. Just 1 for 7 from 3-point range, 14%. There's been a lot of free throws in this game already. 17 free throw attempts in the game's first 8 minutes. Cal State Northridge 5 for 9 at the line. Stanford 6 of 8. Early rebound advantage for the Matadors, 8-6. 4 turnovers for Cal State Northridge, 3 against Stanford. Mentioned both these teams get into full conference play after this game. Cal State Northridge, they've already had 2 Big West games early on in December. They went 1-1 in those games. They will travel to UC Davis now to open full conference play. That will be on New Year's Day. Stanford, meanwhile, opens their ACC schedule coming up Tuesday night at home against Notre Dame. That will be a 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time tip-off on Tuesday for that ACC opener. That'll be on ESPN2 on Tuesday night. So the final tune-up before full conference play begins for these 2 teams. Both teams looking to extend winning streaks. Cal State Northridge coming in on a 4-game winning streak. Stanford coming in on a 3-game winning streak. This is one of only 3 games on the college basketball schedule today. The other 2 games were non-D1 competition. UNC Wilmington winning earlier today, as did Duquesne. Again, it was against non-D1 competition. So here it is 17-13, Cal State Northridge in front of Stanford. 11:55 remaining in the opening half of play. Cal State Northridge hanging right in with the Stanford Cardinal, a Power 4 conference team. Larry Hughes leading scorer on the season for Cal State Northridge, 6 early points in this one on 2 3-pointers. Ibuka Okori leading scorer on the season for Stanford. He's got 6 early for the Cardinal. As the Cardinal bring it up the floor, down by 4. Aiden Kamen with it, over to the right side. Now on the outside is Agarwal. Rahosi with it, and Rahosi with a bad pass inside. And what have we got here? A travel, as Rahosi tried to get back to the ball, but he traveled in the process, and Stanford turns it over. Back up the floor come the Matadors. Working it around, and now the Matadors turn it over as Rahosi gets to the loose ball for Stanford. 5th turnover for Cal State Northridge. And now underneath, bounce pass back outside, and a 3-point shot is up and good for Benny Gieler. That's just Stanford's 2nd 3-pointer of the game, and it cuts the deficit to 1, 17-16. Nice pass inside. Matadors get the bucket underneath. Fofana has 5, 19-16. Cal State Northridge up 3. Outside is Kamen. Over it goes to Okori. Okori driving inside, puts up a tough shot. No good. Offensive rebound, put back, no, but a foul is called on Cal State Northridge, and that will send Stanford to the line as Aiden Kamen will have 2 free throws. 6-team foul on Cal State Northridge. And Kamen makes his first trip to the line for Stanford. First is around and out. No good. First check-in for Donovan Young coming into the game for Stanford. 0 for 2 at the line. And it stays a 3-point lead for the Matadors as we approach the midway point of the first half. Jumper from the foul line up and good. And Cal State Northridge now with a 5-point lead. At the other end, a quick 3. That's off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Matadors. That outside 3-pointer in front of the Stanford bench is good. Larry Hughes the second with his 3rd 3 of the half. He's got 11 points. Timeout, Kyle Smith and Stanford, as Cal State Northridge has built an 8-point lead with 9:57 to play in the first half. Boy, Larry Hughes the second, we're seeing why he's the leading scorer for Cal State Northridge. 18.5 a game already with 11 here in the first half. 3 for 3 from behind the arc for Hughes. And the Matadors have an 8-point lead on the road at the Stanford Cardinal. 9:57 remaining in the first half. Cal State Northridge, 8 of 13 from the floor, 62%. Meanwhile, defensively, they have held Stanford to 4 for 13 and just 2 for 9 from 3-point range. So following the timeout, Stanford trying to right the ship here as Cal State Northridge on a 7-0 run right now. Right side, another double team underneath. And back outside it goes to Okori. Okori on the drive with the left hand, puts it in, and stops the 7-0 run for Cal State Northridge. Okori with 8.5 for Stanford. 24-18 lead for the Matadors. Now back the other way. Again, I'm going to try to figure out who these players are, but these numbers are very difficult to make out. That three missed in the corner, rebound to the Cardinal. And now Stanford slowing it down as they will run the offense now. Okori with it on the outside. Nice pass inside, and Kamen is fouled. And that will be the 7th team foul, so it'll be 1-1 for Stanford. We have had a lot of free throws here in this first half. Donovan Young checking out. Free throw on the way is good. This game here between Cal State Northridge and Stanford is actually a rematch of a first-round NIT game from this past year. Game won by Stanford, 87-70. So Cal State Northridge with a little bit of revenge on their minds here as the second free throw is no good, 1 out of 2. 24-19. Cal State Northridge by 5. And now on the outside, this is Hughes again and hits another 3. That's his 4th 3 of the half. 14 points for Larry Hughes. And it's back to an 8-point lead for the Matadors at 27-19. I almost said the Mastodons. That's a different school. On the drive inside, and a foul is called. Couldn't get the layup to go, could Okpara, but he'll have a chance to earn 2 from the line. Fouls starting to pile up here on Cal State Northridge in this first half. Chisholm Okpara heads to the line. First is no good. Stanford not helping themselves at the free throw line here in the first half. Second one on the way is good. Stanford now 8 for 14 from the foul line in the first half. 27-20. Cal State Northridge as we approach 8 minutes to play in the first half. And now on the drive. And now sends it back outside, and the Matadors reset. Hughes, why not? They missed one. Rebound to the Cardinal. First miss from three-point range for Hughes. At the other end, a three-pointer barely draws any iron at all. Rebound to Cal State Northridge. Hughes, he walked. Yeah, he picked up that pivot foot. Turnover number 6 on Cal State Northridge as we have hit the under 8 timeout. Matadors giving Stanford a game on the road here in the first half as the Matadors lead at 27-20 at the under 8 timeout. 7:41 to play in the first half. Great start on the road tonight for Cal State Northridge as they look for their first ever win against Stanford. Again, these two teams met in the NIT just this past season. Stanford winning that NIT first round game, 87-70. Cal State Northridge has never beat Stanford. They're wanting to make that a first tonight. They are still over 50% from the floor at 9 of 16. 4 for 8 from 3, so they're 50% from three-point range. Meanwhile, Stanford, they're starting to pick up the shooting a little bit, but they're still just 5 of 15, 33%, just 2 for 10 from three-point range at 20%. 10 of the 15 field goal attempts have been from three-point range. Free throws, there's been a lot of them in the first half. Neither team shooting all that well from there. Stanford, 8 of 14, 57%. Cal State Northridge, 5 of 9, 56%. 12-9 rebound edge for the Matadors. Matadors have turned it over 6 times in the first half. Cardinal have turned it over 4. Leading scorers in the first half. Larry Hughes, the leading scorer for Cal State Northridge, 14 points in the first half. He averages about 18 and a half, so he's approaching his season average here in the first half. 5 points from Mahmoud Fofana, 4 out of Joshua Ogero, and 2 points apiece from Davius Lowry and Grady Lewis. For Stanford, they are led by Ibuka Okori with 8 points in the first half, 7 out of Chisholm Okpara, 3 from Benny Geeler, and a point apiece from Oscar Gilte and Aiden Kamen. As the Matadors have led pretty much throughout this first half, and they lead it now 27-20. Their biggest lead this half has been 8. Stanford did lead a couple times by 1 earlier here in the first half. Other sports news today, we did have a Saturday and two Saturday NFL games. One I was just watching just prior to going on the live stream. Interesting, good game there between the Chargers and the Texans. The Texans end up winning it 20-16 over the Chargers. That clinches a playoff spot for the Texans. It eliminates the Colts from playoff contention, and that also gives the AFC West title to the Denver Broncos with the Chargers' loss. Of course, we've got a game tonight, Ravens and Packers. Ravens must win or else they're out. Green Bay clinched a playoff spot with the Lions' loss on Thursday. So we got some Saturday NFL action going on. But back here, 27-20, and Stanford inbounds. Okori with it, gets it over to Okpara. Okpara driving inside, sends it back outside to Jeremy Dent-Smith, who's back in the game, and the Cardinal just threw it out of bounds. That'll be their 5th turnover. $7:15 to play in the half. Matador ball up 7. Looking for their largest lead of the game. This is Brinson on the outside. Matadors working it around the arc. And now the drive inside with the right hand and getting fouled on the drive. It'll be 2 shots. Foul is whistled on Oscar Gilte. That's his first. And now Stanford over the limit as that's their 7th-team foul. And Davius Lowry heading to the line for 2. Sophomore out of Chicago. First is up and good. With exactly 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Lowry's second free throw up, and it rattles in. Lowry with 4, and the Matadors have their largest lead now at 9, 29-20. Dent-Smith with it on the outside. Finds Okori on the right side. Nice pass inside and an easy layup underneath. Cal State Northridge defense fell asleep there a little bit, and Okpara had an easy layup, 29-22. That pass tipped away, almost a turnover for Northridge, and now we have a foul before the shot on Stanford. This will be a 1-and-1 as Jordan Brinson will head to the line. Jeremy Dent-Smith picks up his second foul for Stanford. So we may have a free throw contest here the last 6:35 of the first half. We've already had a lot of free throws in this game. First is good from Jordan Brinson. So he's on the board. In the game's first 13 and a half minutes, we have already, this will be the 28th free throw attempt. Brinson hits both. 27th free throw attempt, excuse me. Josiah Davis returns for the Matadors, replacing Brinson. Matadors back up 9. Dent Smith brings it up the floor. Finds Okori. Now driving inside, and a foul as Okpara got the ball, drove inside, and he will head to the line for 2. Chisholm Okpara heading to the line where he's a 73% shooter this season and hits the first. This is his 7th and 8th free throw attempts of the first half. Two free throws is good. Two free throws are good. 31-24. Matador lead is 7. Matadors with it on the outside, now pulling inside and taking a long two-pointer from the right side and hitting the shot to put the Matadors back up 9. 16 in the half, as that was Hughes with the jumper. 33-24. At the other end, layup, no, from Okori. Rebound to the Matadors. They look for a double-digit lead this trip. And on the drive inside, off the glass, off the front of the rim, will not drop. Rebound to Stanford. Dent Smith brings it up the floor for the Cardinal. Over it goes to Okori. Back over to Dent Smith on the outside. Dent Smith looking to drive, but gets cut off. 10 to shoot for the Cardinal. Now Dent Smith gets inside, puts up a wild shot that's nowhere near. Rebound pulled down by Cal State Northridge. Boy, Dent tried to go over a defender that had him by about 4 or 5 inches, and that didn't work out too good. Under 5 to go, first half. On the drive, the spin move, left-hand layup is no good, and we have an over-the-back foul on the Matadors on the rebound. And that is team foul number 10, so it is now double bonus and 2 free throws for the rest of the half for Stanford. Believe they got, I hope I get his pronunciation right, Simsik. I hope that's right. That just got whistled for that foul. It's his first. Oscar Gilte heads to the line for Stanford. First is good. This to cut it to 7 with one more free throw coming. Missed it. But Stanford gets the offensive rebound, however. Okori will slow it up, goes inside to Gilte. Gilte gets underneath the basket and scores. So it ends up a 3-point trip for the Cardinal, and they pull within 6, 33-27. And a quick 3 at the other end is good by guess who? Larry Hughes, 19 in the half for Hughes. Already at his season average, and we still have 4:20 to go in the first half. Pass over into the corner. Cardinal resetting on the outside. Gilte with it now. Gilte tries to back his way in, instead gives it outside to Dent Smith. Dent Smith goes inside, and a foul is called. Oh. Believe they just got Larry Hughes for his second foul. He thought he had all ball. First free throw up and good. Larry Hughes over there getting a talking to by his coach. He's going to keep him in there with 2 personal fouls, however. What a first half offensively. He's having another 1 of 2 trip at the line for Stanford. Rebound pulled down by O'Garo of the Matadors. Again, they can look for a double-digit lead this trip as we go under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Matadors working it on the outside. Shot clock down to 6. They're going to have to put something up here. Down to 3. They're going to have to put up a three-pointer here. Down to 1 with the Lynn. It's rejected out of bounds. The shot clock expires, but there may be about half a second left on it. They're probably going to look at it at the timeout with 3:34 remaining in the first half. Matadors up 36-28 on Stanford. And check the shot clock there. I think when it hit out of bounds, there was a few tenths left, but they will take a look at it, I'm sure, at the timeout. Updated stats on this one. Cal State Northridge still over 50%, 11 of 21 from the floor. They are 5 for 9 from three-point range. Stanford 7 of 19 from the floor for just 37%. And again, just 2 for 10 from three-point range. 33 combined free throw attempts in the first half. Stanford 12 of 20 for 60%. Cal State Northridge 9 of 13 for 69%. Neither team shooting well at all from the free throw line. Both teams under 70%. Still a rebound edge by 4 for the Matadors, 16-12. But Larry Hughes the second, 19 points in the first half for Cal State Northridge on 7 of 9 shooting. He's 5 for 6 from three-point range. Second leading scorer for Cal State Northridge is Fofana, and he's got 5. Meanwhile, Chisholm Okpara in double figures for Stanford in the first half with 12 points. He averages 15 a game. Ibuka Okori, Stanford's leading scorer on the season at 22 points a game, has 8 in the first half on 3 of 6 shooting. But it is Cal State Northridge who has led a majority of the first half that is leading it now 36-28. 3.5 to play in half number 1. Do want to say at halftime, we'll be pausing the live stream for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back right before the start of the second half, run down the official first half stats, and get you ready for what should be an exciting second half here, as Cal State Northridge has given Stanford all they want here in the first half. As the Matadors, as I mentioned earlier, are looking for their first ever win over Stanford. Southern California against Northern California in this game. Matadors are faced with some foul issues. They do have 3 players with 2 fouls. Davius Lowry, Josiah Davis, and Larry Hughes II all have 2 fouls for Cal State Northridge. Stanford has a couple players with 2 fouls. Chisholm Okpara and Jeremy Dent-Smith with 2 fouls apiece. Yeah, so the shot clock, they did go back and look at the shot clock at the timeout. There's 3/10 on the shot clock. Now, in a regular game, 3/10 and under, it has to be a tip. So, obviously, the shot clock is going to be no different. This is going to have to be a tip up at the basket for Cal State Northridge. And the inbound and the tip knocked away by Stanford, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Yeah, you can only tip it in 3/10 or less. And Stanford wisely defensively just knocked that ball away, and that'll be the 7th turnover of the first half on the Matadors. Stanford to bring it up the floor. 3.5 left first half. And now on the drive with the right hand. No good, but another foul on Cal State Northridge. This one's going to go against Jordan Brinson, so that'll be 2 on Brinson as he becomes the 4th Matador to reach the 2 foul mark. First free throw, no good. It is double bonus. Stanford now just 12 of 21 at the free throw line. 1 of 2. Michael Greenstein, Tony Padilla, and Mark Fulton, the officiating crew here tonight. 36-29, Matadors up 7. Bounce pass inside, and now the spin move with the left hand can't finish. Rebound pulled down by Stanford as they have a chance to get closer. 3 to go, first half. Stanford setting up from the outside. This is Okori finding Agarwal. Agarwal now trying to drive. Zed gives it off to Okpara. Okpara with 7 to shoot, now drives inside. Okpara lost it momentarily, and we have a reach-in foul on the Matadors. That'll be on Fofana, so he picks up his second foul. And more free throws coming here for Stanford. Okpara's first is good. Lead down to 6. Okpara can make it 5 with 1 more free throw. And he hits it. 14 and a half for Okpara, and the Cardinal are within 5. Matadors bringing up the floor. They work it around the arc. Now will try to drive inside, but instead sends it back out. Now looking for help. And on the drive, nice pass underneath, but unable to corral the ball. And now the turnaround hook shot with the right hand. No good, but it's tipped in. But Stanford wants basket interference, and they're going to get it. Fofana interfered, trying to tip the ball back in, and it's going to go back to Stanford. That was actually close on the replay. And Coach Andy Newman not happy with that call. And he's actually going to call for a challenge here of the offensive basket interference. It actually looked pretty like basket interference in real time, but when they just showed the replay, it's actually pretty close. So now this officiating crew, who, as I said, Michael Greenstein, Tony Padilla, and Mark Fulton, will go over to the monitor to look at this. Now, the call on the floor was basket interference, so they have to see something on the replay definitively to overturn that. Again, that's a new rule in college basketball this year. Each coach gets 1 challenge. If you are unsuccessful, you do not get the ability to challenge the rest of the game. If you are successful, you do get to keep the challenge. Here's the replay. The right hand, and it looks like, boy, that's close. The ball comes out. Actually, you know what? On this last angle they showed, that ball actually may have come out of the cylinder when it was tipped in. So this very well may be a successful challenge here. And also, if Cal State Northridge loses the challenge, it'll cost them a timeout. There was one angle, it looked like it was behind the other basket that they showed, that made it seem like this may get overturned. And the call is going to stand as basket interference. Again, it has to be definitive, and it may not have been definitive enough. Coach Newman getting an explanation. He smiles as he gets the explanation, but I don't think he deep down liked the answer he got. So it's still a 5-point spread. Cardinal bringing it up the floor as we near 2 minutes to play in the first half. On the outside now is Okori. Okpara back over to Okori. Okori driving, finds Okpara, who tries a three, short. And out of bounds it goes to the Matadors. So Okpara going to go to the bench to get a breather, possibly for the final 155 of the first half. Okpara has 14 points, but 9 of those points are from the free throw line. He's just 2 for 4 from the floor. I say just 2 for 4. That's 50%. He's only attempted 4 shots is what I meant by that. And that's going to go the other way on a moving screen. 9th turnover for Cal State Northridge. That's number 3 on Fofana. I beg your pardon. That was not on Fofana. It was on Grady Lewis. So that's his 2nd. So Stanford brings it up. Here's Agarwal on the outside. Nice pass underneath. And a layup is good for Gilte. And it's down to a 3-point lead, 36-33. At the other end, driving, and a nice pass and a finish and a dunk underneath for Fofana. A great feed to find Fofana under the basket. 38-33 Matadors. Final minute, first half. And this time, Stanford turns it over. They're 6th of the half. So despite the foul problems, Cal State Northridge still leading by 5. Trying to add to it this possession. They hurry. They can go 2 for 1 here. Top of the key three-pointer is too strong. Rebound to Stanford, but Cal State Northridge does guarantee themselves one last possession. As there's about a 13.5-second difference, shot clock, game clock. 3-point shot on the way, too strong. Rebound to the Matadors. Shot clock is off, and they are going to slow it down and run for the final shot of the first half. No reason to rush it here. Down to 15. Now working it around the arc, down to 10 seconds. Now Northridge may want to set up something. They turn it over instead on a bad pass. And the feed inside, Cal State Northridge takes it away, and that's how the first half comes to a close. A little bit of a sloppy start to end the first half, but at the half, Cal State Northridge leads Stanford 38-33 in a first half that saw 22 fouls and 37 combined free throw attempts. Cal State Northridge has the halftime lead of 38-33 over Stanford. Again, folks, going to briefly pause this live stream here at the half. Going to be back about 10, 11 minutes or so right before the start of the second half. Run down some first half stats. Get ready for what should be an exciting second half here as Cal State Northridge, looking for their first ever win over the Cardinal, lead this game at the half, 38-33, looking to hang on and get a power conference win on the road. Brief pause here, and we'll be back with you here in just